went to a magic show some time ago and was very inspired by the performance I saw there. Since then, I have been practicing some of my own tricks. Let me show you. Kaboom! Oh wait, this is just the beginning. This is an 80 centimeter long rope. Too long, right? Let's cut it into 2 equal parts. Now, let's measure the parts. We see that the length of each part is 40 centimeter. Note that here, each part is half of the rope. Let's join it back together. Ta-da! We have attached the 2 ropes together. We now have the same 80 centimeter length of rope we started out with. Let's cut it into 4 equal parts. Now the length of each part is 20 centimeter. If I choose 2 parts out of these 4 parts, then the sum of their total length will be 40 centimeter. This means that taking 2 parts out of 4 equal parts makes the same length as half of the entire length. Now, isn't that magical? Let's try this one more time. But first, I'll need to join the rope pieces together again. Kazam! Haha! Now let's cut the rope into even more pieces. Now we have 8 equal parts. Each of these are 10 centimeter long. And if I take 4 parts out of these 8 parts and measure the total length, it again comes out to be 40 centimeter. It means that 4 parts out of 8 parts also makes half of the rope. But how did we get the same length even after taking different divisions of the rope? Well, this is because the parts of the rope that we took gave us equal fractions of the total rope, that is, half of the rope. And now we have 4 by 8 equal to 2 by 4 equal to 1 by 2. Such fractions which have different numerators and denominators but represent the same value are called equivalent fractions. Here, 1 by 2, 2 by 4 and 4 by 8 are equivalent fractions of each other. We can get equivalent fractions by multiplying both the numerator and denominator with the same number. Here, multiplying both the numerator and denominator of 1 by 2 with 2 gives us 2 by 4. And multiplying both the numerator and denominator of 1 by 2 with 4 gives us 4 by 8. We can also make more equivalent fractions if we keep on multiplying or dividing the numerator and denominator of a fraction by the same number. Can you tell me which out of these is an equivalent fraction of 1 by 3? Let's create an equivalent fraction of 1 by 3 by multiplying and dividing it with 2. We get 2 by 6. But it is not in the options. If we multiply and divide 1 by 3 with 3, we get 3 by 9. So 3 by 9 is the correct answer. Earlier, we defined 1 by 2, 2 by 4 and 4 by 8 as equivalent fractions. Can you observe that one of these fractions is a little special? A bit more magical. Well, the fractions 2 by 4 and 4 by 8 have 2 and 4 as the highest common factor, HCF, between the numerator and denominator. But for the fraction 1 by 2, the only common factor for the numerator and denominator is 1, which means it can't be reduced further in any other forms like 2 by 4 and 4 by 8. This form of the fraction, where the highest common factor of the numerator and denominator is 1, is called the simplest form of the fraction. But how do we find the simplest form of a fraction? Like the name suggests, it's quite simple. To express any fraction in its simplest form, we divide the numerator and denominator of the fraction by the HCF. Earlier, I took an 80 centimeter rope and cut it into several parts to get 10 centimeter pieces. So, what is the simplest fraction we can describe for one piece of rope? Here, The numerator is 10 and the denominator is 80. Their HCF is 10. So we can divide the numerator and denominator by 10 and get the simplest form as 1 by 8. But what if the numbers are too large and the HCF is too difficult to calculate? What should we do then? Then we start dividing the numerator and denominator by their common factors till we get the simplest form of the fraction. Well, that's all I had for today's show. Did you figure out my rope trick? Keep guessing. I'll keep practicing and get better at magic. And meanwhile, you can practice forming equivalent fractions. And remember, we stay curious.